Hello, it's day 83 of a screenwriter journey. If you hear some bells in the background, those are our wind chimes. It's a windy night where I live, tropical island, not. So we left off with I was working on a conversation uh, I thought I was working on a conversation elsewhere in the script, but now I seem to have jumped back into the early in the second act. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is fix up this whole thing of why Holly came back, well, not why she came back, but sort of not even explaining, but what story is she telling to different people about why she came back, how long she can stay, and that sort of thing. And then also the whole thing about Paul telling Abby and Gary to go home, and Abby's super hesitant. Gary is like, well, there's nothing we can do here. So he decides to go, and Abby decides to go with him because really, I mean, deep down, she knows there's really nothing they can do. And then Abby ends with that strong bit of dialogue on the bottom of page 40. So this is going to change a little because it's not going to be Paul calling them. But again, it picks up the pace a little because it's immediately Holly. And we find out that Paul has talked to her, told them about the kids. And so this changes a little bit. Pick me up at the cameras. I'll see if Paul can use my help. She's still saying that her plane's been delayed. And as Gary said at the very end of that scene, which I jumped by, guilty conscience. So at this point in the writing, as I've said several times, I know it's day 83 and I've been through this script. I keep saying I'm going to count, but let's say 5 times. That would make sense, 5, 6 times. So if at this point I'm still making big wholesale changes, then I've got some serious problems. But let me interrupt myself because this is a critical scene for relatively early in the script, not that early. As I said before, I'm trying to come up with something that Paul would say, truthfully, not that he's making this up, to get Holly really sort of amped up about her decision. So if he says he's willing to sacrifice a lot more than he should to get Salerno, what that means is, and maybe this dialogue is going to change a little, that this noble guy who we're going to meet obviously doesn't care all that much about the kids. He really will do about anything it takes to get Salerno because that's the kind of guy he is. And so hearing that, Holly is going to, I'm making a little bit of changes here again. Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that new line I just added. Oh, maybe so. Maybe I thought I was replacing what I had. So anyways, the point is that Holly needs to hear some more compelling reason than you need to go up there and be a placeholder until someone else gets there. And so that's what I'm worried about. And I'm glad I just got rid of those 2 opening lines. And so Paul just like bang says it. And I think that would give Holly enough to be invested in what's going to happen next. Because if she isn't, that is going to be bad. So I'm playing with that, tweaking it, but I think I'm generally happy with it. But now, So now I'm playing with the next part because as I'm writing this and saying I like it, and I don't know if I changed it, frankly, would she really still say, I need you to run interference? How long are we talking? So even though she is really invested by what he says, she's trying to play it cool. And why is she doing that? I guess she still doesn't want him to know exactly maybe her feelings, her kind of regret at leaving. So she's still making it sound like an inconvenience. Um, yeah, so still working on that, but I think I'm going in the right direction. I'm confident of that. Wow, this is exactly 1 month ago that I was writing this. Not 30 days. Well, 1 month, 30 days. It's the 22nd of September today. All right. So let's see here. All right. So I'm still kind of going over this. Gosh, it's crazy how. Are you kidding me? I'm going all the way back and changing stuff. What am I doing? Wouldn't it be cool if you could? Well, I was going to say, wouldn't it be cool if you could write this fast, but write this well this fast? I'm not saying this is like awesome writing, but if you could write really well, wouldn't it be cool if you could write this fast? All right. Can you tell I'm chewing gum? I should probably not chew gum. That's not very nice. Please ignore this. Okay. Let's see if I'm going to keep tweaking this. Mutes her phone. Shouts to the pilot. Oh, yeah. I'm just kind of rearranging this thing, I think. Are you still there? Unmutes her phone. Surfaces. Okay, so she's making an excuse why it took her, 20 seconds to answer. Where the men bringing down Salerno than he is. It's funny, like I just reordered that sentence. I think I did. Bringing down Salerno than he is rescuing those kids. And you could have said he's a lot less interested in rescuing those kids than bringing down Salerno. And I think it's always important. And sometimes the first time through or the second time through, you don't always do it. Sometimes you do, is to literally end the sentence on the most important word or thought. So originally I had rescuing the kids first and bringing down Salerno, which in another movie that might be the most important. But really, what is going to strike Holly is rescuing those kids. And so if you save it till the end, then it gives the other person or people listening sort of the impetus, the incentive, because that's the last thing they heard. If you bury it early in the conversation, unless you do that on purpose because, you're giving bad news and you muddle it up somewhere so they won't hear it. But I guess in a script that could work, but typically you want to backload your dialogue. You don't really want to front load it. I mean, ideally, of course, it's front and back loaded. Okay, so yeah, I'm still playing with this. This may be one of those scenes that takes me in real time, who knows, 20, 30 minutes to get through, and 5x speed, it will go a little faster, but it still might take a while. Okay, so I'm thinking, oh, yeah. So here's a new idea I had. Not that Holly really thinks she wants him, he wants her to do this, but she throws out, this idea, do you want me to try to grab him? Which, I mean, it's not totally unreasonable. But I think that gets us to the next bit a little bit better because that takes away the whole thing of, oh, gosh, I have to come back. And now she's saying, aha, you want me to go grab him. Oh, no, I hope I don't eat my words of what I was just talking about putting the important stuff at the end. No, I didn't. I just need you to know how long will it take within the hour. No worries about missing your connecting flight. So, I don't know. Maybe I could even make this scene tighter. You just told me we can be there 25 minutes. I'll make sure they roll off the red carpet. Do I need that line? There we go, I'm sure. So, Yeah, I think that's better. It gets rid of this tread lightly, introducing Noble as kind of a, not a bad guy, but kind of a surly character. So remember that. Roll out the red carpet. Keep that in mind. That may come into play later. This is one of those mini bookends things, payoffs. We're going with you, not a chance, including that. So is that new dialogue? Maybe so. So I think before, in earlier versions, Abby had to lobby Holly a lot harder and longer to get her. Oh gosh, now I came up with an idea here. I'll just let you soak this in. Just letting you soak it in. I just literally had this idea as I was writing it. See what you think. The suspense is killing you, right? Great, now I'm jumping all over the place. Okay. Dun, dun, dun! I don't know about seizes up, but that's, I think, I don't know. What do you think about that? Leave a comment after you what? Share, subscribe, and like. Uh-oh. This is a little video I made with my wife about how to install a generator, and it's already got like 1,000 views. Sorry. But so this sort of makes it real to Abby because, hey, we're going to go on this adventure or we're going to go do daring things. And Holly is like, the only reason you could come up there is to ID them, which, isn't exactly 100% true because Holly could obviously ID them. But it makes Abby think twice about doing it. And maybe, is Holly doing that to scare them off? Maybe, but not really. But I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. But regardless of that, it shows you that as I said, she gains resolve or regains, whatever you want to say. What in the world? There's a little insight into, oh, that's an awesome shot I got of a rainbow with my drone. Why am I doing that? I can't believe I didn't. How do you enjoy this? A lot? At least I'm doing it fast. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Feel free to fast forward past this part. It's obviously, I should probably just cut this out, but by the time I did, it'd probably take me more time than. I hope I don't upload it to YouTube. Okay, that would take a while. So, I think, I don't know. I would like your comments, but it goes faster. And again, the audience knows that these two are going to go with her. So we've put up a few roadblocks in the way. We've not really thrown out some red herrings, but at some point, you could write a 5-page scene where they discuss the pros and cons and blah, blah, blah. But, we know that's not going to happen in a movie. So always put obstacles, put roadblocks in your character's way because, if it's easy, then what fun is that? And just pick the movie and you'll see how many roadblocks are involved. So I just am rewording that. Again, horse being sort of, it's not really the punchline. It sort of is, but just like a joke, you don't start a joke with a punchline. You end it with a punchline. Okay, so they're in the plane. Pretty big step. Would you do an impressive when she was the judge? Been your only job. It is funny. Now that I mentioned that part about rewording sentences, how often I do that to try to get, again, backload so it ends as impactfully as possible. A little tip that I'm sure I learned from many people. Okay, I'm cutting this down a little. See, whenever I can change 2 sentences into one, I'm a happy writer. I had no part in that. Which, is that true or not when Rachel says I had no part in that? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so now Salerno. Yeah, so as I said before, this is basically the halfway point and sort of a false victory / defeat here. You choose which one. And how did we leave? Well, we left Holly and the two kids on the plane. So I'm going to say that this is a satisfactory middle of Act 2. I cut out Holly's or Rachel's line and just gave it to Salerno. It's funny, when I made my last movie, which was a number of years ago already, The Key, which I haven't mentioned lately, is available on Amazon Prime. There were several times when people didn't show up, or I found out at the last minute they weren't going to show up, and I just literally had to rewrite the scenes, either have them off screen, have a phone call, or give someone who was there either their dialogue or rewrite the person who was their dialogue to take into account what that person wasn't there to say. And when I watch the movie, sometimes I kind of forget, and sometimes I go, oh, that's right, he couldn't make it that day, or whatever. So I'm thinking here, remember what I mentioned about the red carpet bookend, or the open parentheses? Watch this. Oh, we got to laugh. So, right, I think that starts, as I said, their relationship, in air quotes, off to a little different start, not quite so rancorous, a little, as I said, a touche. And I think, I mean, obviously I like it, or I would have changed it again, and maybe I still will. But so we got the open parentheses. They'll give you the red carpet treatment. Hogan says red carpet division. Whether that's a pure coincidence or not, I don't think it really matters, but I think it's kind of a cute thing. So now Holly is making up a story about why she brought the two. And I mean, I have the bones of it there, but I think I'm going to work on it a little bit. Am I going to work on it right now? The blue highlight's out. Won't be any trouble. Sometimes, like I just, got rid of, I got rid of that long line, and sometimes you try to do that to get past a part, and then you reread it and you say, I really need either something to explain it better, to reveal character, etc. And then there's always I'll explain on the way, which you can do on screen or off screen, or on camera and not included in the movie. However, it looks like I'm debating about that. Oh, the day's over. Cliffhanger, day 83 in the can. That was a pretty good day. That part about the reason that Paul gave for Holly to come back, about he's not so sure about the guy and blah, blah, blah. That was, to me, that was a pretty big thing. Did some other stuff, trimmed, fiddle-dee-deed around. You saw it. You were there. I was there. I hope you'll be here tomorrow with me. But for now, I will say sayonara and arrivederci. And, whoops, I don't know what to say next. Bye-bye.